Hey, good morning. So this morning is a new block. So we're going to do 10 exercises working pretty much every muscle group using dumbbells. We're going to do 50 seconds on with a 20-second recovery. Each exercise we're going to do twice over before we move over to the next one. And then we're going to do a superset of core at the end, which is basically doing 2 opposing muscle exercises in a row, so that we work them quite hard at the same time. And it's a way of saving time if you were doing this in the gym. But we'll start with the main set and then go into that set at the end with a little bit of a longer recovery in between. And the superset, we're going to do 60 seconds on with a very short 10 seconds between so that we can flip on to the other exercise. Okay, so let's start with our warm-up. So ankle rolls, just warming up from the feet to the head this morning. Nice big circles to the knee. Good, and then let's open up the hip. 3 wide circles all the way out, rotating the hip out, and then let's just go in the opposite direction and just go out to in. Good, 3, excellent. Into the other, so nice big circles, go in an anti-clockwise direction so that you can then extend into the knee and the hip. Good, nice big circles. Open up the hip, again, 3 great big circles. And then just in the opposite direction, just loosening up the hip. Excellent. Okay, down and up into squats, not too deep. Let's squeeze the glutes at the top. Good. And one more. Excellent. Into hamstrings, above the head, down, tap the toe. Good. Just stretching right down the back of the legs. Good, and then into your twists, working up the spine. Excellent, and side bends. Down. Good. Stick twist. Good, okay, plank walkouts. Down, touch your toes, stretch the hamstrings. Walk down onto your mat. Little pause at the bottom, push back on your heels. Good, and push back up, stretch at the top. Good, let's do that again, all the way down. Walk out, plank, little pause. Good, and push back up. Excellent, one more, this time stay down. Good, all the way out. Stretch the heels, lower slowly to the floor. Baby cobra, little push up. Stretch the back. Good, release again, up into high plank. Good, push back, into downward dog. Excellent, little pulse to the heels. Stretch out the calves. Good, back into high plank. Excellent, and push back up. Good, okay, it should be a wee bit warmer, muscles should be a wee bit more waking up. Okay, so we're going to start with walkout plank into side plank. So we're doing 2 on 60 seconds. Okay, from the edge of your mat, nice tall posture. Good, stretching down through the back of the legs. Down into walkout planks. Drop the hips to the mat, rotate round, open up the chest. One side, then the other. Good, and push back up against the straight legs. Good, let's go again. All the way down. Good, rotate round. Good, push back up. And go again. Excellent, you're well over halfway. So just taking your time, keeping it nice and fluid. Nice big stretch to the ceiling. Excellent. And one more. Good. And into recovery. Good. Okay, let's pause. Let's do that again. Okay, from the top. Let's go again. So nice straight legs, down, stretch to the floor. Good, walk it out. Hands directly underneath shoulders. Open up the chest. Nice big rotation. Good. Push back up into standing. Good, let's go again, all the way out. And rotate. Good, halfway. Big push up. Excellent. Good. So just mainly working the core and upper body. It's pretty much a good exercise for working all muscle groups. Good. Pushing against your own body weight. Excellent. Last few seconds and into recovery. Good. Grab one weight or two if you want to load heavy. We're just going to hold the entire chest. I'm going to go into deep squats, so nice and wide, and we're going to pulse down the low at the bottom. So we want to get into our glutes, quads and our hamstrings. Down, pulse for 3, and then push up and squeeze our glutes. So we're going right down parallel to the floor, keeping our knees out, pushing them so they're in line with the toes, and dropping the hips to the floor. Good. Big push up. So you can see the chest isn't dropping to the floor. We're sitting right back into squat, using our core to maintain that high upper body posture. Good. And sinking down. So the wider we go, the more we're feeling that in the inside and outside of our legs. Good. Nice and low. Pulse down. Push through the heels. Good. Drop the weight. Give the legs a little shake. We're going to do that one again. Good. So grab the weight. Gear it up at your chest. Nice tall posture. Squeeze the glutes at the top. Good. Okay, nice and wide. Let's go again. Sinking down. Pulse. And push through the heels. Squeeze at the top. So the longer you stay down in the pulse, the harder it will be as you're pushing through. The lower you go, the more you're getting into these glutes. And push through. Good. All the way down. Excellent. Make sure these knees are not falling in the way. If they are, bring the legs in a little bit and make your stance a little bit more narrow. Good. Drop down. And push. Excellent. 10 seconds left. Keep going. And into recovery. Good. This time collect 2 weights. We're into curtsy lunge and shoulder press. So start with your feet together. We're going to go on one leg and then swap legs in the second set. So bring the weights up onto your shoulder. They're staying in that position. Good. So curtsy back. Bend both knees. Shoulder press at the top. So again, we're working the same muscle group, but we're really focusing on our glute and the muscle that runs down outside the leg in the quad at the top. Good. Again, same muscle group, but slightly different in the way that we're using one leg from the other. So we're just isolating one side, making it work a little bit harder. Bringing in the shoulder press. At the top, we're needing to engage that core. Lock the glutes. Excellent. And drop the weights. Have a wee shoulder roll. Good. We're on that opposite leg this time. So again, grab your weights. Bring it up into shoulder press. And it's on that opposite side. Good. So nice tall posture. Down into curtsy lunge. So you're going at that angle, out to that side. Little crossover. Principles are the same in the lunge. We're bending both knees. That back heel is off the ground. Front foot stays secure. Good. Big push. The weight should be starting to get that little bit heavier as you're pushing above your head. Good. Keep going. Nice and low in your lunge. Challenge your legs. 10 seconds left. 2 more. Excellent. And last little push. Good. Into recovery. You can get rid of your weights this time. We're into our body weighted exercise and we're into rope climbers. So down into high plank and we're going to challenge our obliques in this one. Good. So high plank position, hands below shoulders, up onto your toes, and you're going to abdominal crunch. Bring that leg out to the side, changing each time, pulling up as high as you can. Good. If you find this hard, you can be on your knees and just keep pulsing one side at a time. So you're still doing the same exercise, but you're offloading a little bit more weight onto your knees. Good. Nice big pull. Knee as high as you can. Crunch that oblique. So feel this in your core and your arms. Good. Last few seconds. Drop down onto your knees. Sit back and stretch out. Good. Okay. Back up into high plank position. Good. Okay. Into position now. And we're going again. Rope climbers. Bringing the knee high up to the side. And crunching the abdominals. Good. Big pull. Excellent. Keeping it nice and controlled. Don't rush it. If you're on your knees, you're pulsing this side on the opposite leg. If you can, keep your body weight forward into your hands. Good. And bringing that leg up to the side. Good. Alternate if you're in high plank position. You've only got 10 seconds left. Last little push. Keep the hips low. Good. And into recovery. Sit back, have a wee stretch. Okay, roll the shoulders. We're staying with the shoulders and we're into pike press ups. So instead of working the chest, we're targeting the shoulders. So nice wide stance in your legs and in your hands. Look through your legs and tucking down onto the floor. So you're bending your elbows to allow your head to come down, top of the head, down to the floor, and extend up through the shoulders. Good. So nice wide hands. Allow your body weight to come down. Elbows go out. Good. If your hamstrings are a little bit tight, take the tension off the back of your legs. You'll feel this in your upper back and your shoulders. Good. So as low as you can go. You've got about 3 more. Good. Last few seconds and stretch it out. Good. Nice big stretch. Hope knees lot. Good. Okay, let's do that one again. Back up into pike position. Nice wide stand in the hands and feet. Good. Tuck the head under, look under the legs, and down as low as you can go. Good. Nice big push. So where we want to feel that is around your arm, around your shoulder, around the top, and down that upper back area as you're pushing up off the floor. Good. Nice and low. Extend and push. Good. Dropping down. Arms are going out the way. Big push through the floor. Good. Keep going. Big push. Excellent. You've got 10 seconds left. Just a couple more. Good. And into recovery. Have a little stretch. Okay, we're into lunge and bicep curl. So grab your weights, pick a leg. We're staying on that one leg. Good. Into lunge position. Nice tall posture. Down into lunge, elbows tucked. Pull up into bicep curl. Good. So all the way down, you're going down in a straight line. Don't push that body weight forward over that front toe. You're bending both knees, lowering the body, pushing back up. You'll feel this in the front and back of your legs, a little bit glutes. And by engaging that core, we're keeping that nice tall posture. Good. Adding a little bit through the legs with the weights and into bicep curls. Good. One more. Excellent. Give it a wee shake. We're swapping legs. Good. So into position. Opposite side. Roll the shoulders back. Puff up the chest. Nice and tall. Good. We're down into that lunge. Pushing back up. So the back heel's off the floor. Front heel stays down on the floor. Our elbows are tucked into our side. So we're just pulling the weights up to our shoulders without really moving the elbows. So we get into that bicep. Good. Nice and controlled. Halfway. Excellent. Keep going. Nice and low. If you're getting tired, just slow it down. Think of technique. Good. 10 seconds left. Last little push. Good. And into recovery. Good. So for this one, you can keep on weight. We're into static wall squat. Either keep one weight, you can do it on one side and then swap legs, or stay on both feet. It's up to you. Good. So you're just pushing your back against the wall, sliding down parallel to the floor. Should be in parallel position from your knee to your hip from the floor. Push your back in against the wall and ground your heels. Good. So feet are about shoulder width apart if you're on both feet. If you're on single foot, your feet will be slightly narrower to give you that balanced position. And you're just holding one leg up for as long as you can. Go to failure and then push in to both legs and hold. Good. 10 seconds left. Excellent. Okay, just dropping the weight and pushing off the wall. Good. Give the legs a wee shake. We're going to do that again. So if you can, keep your weight. If you started on one leg, you're going to that opposite side. Good. So up against the wall, back nice and straight. Lower the body weight down into position. Excellent. Nice big deep breaths. Good. So really pushing the weight through the heels, pushing the back against the wall. You start to feel that lactic build in the top of the legs. Good. Nice big deep breaths in and out. Excellent. Good. Staying nice and low. You've only got about just over 10 seconds. Keep pushing the knees out. Don't let them fall in. Good. Nice big deep breaths. and into recovery. Good, we're back into body weight, we're down on our mat, and we're into reverse plank. So we're going to hold it in a static position, and this time we're working our posterior chain running down the back of our body. So put your heels on the ground, shoulder width apart, hands behind, and push up into that reverse high plank position. So lock the glutes, make sure there's a straight line from your ankles to your shoulder. Good, and relax into the exercise. Nice big deep breath in and out, you're halfway. Good, nice, keep pushing. If you need to, you can bring your heels in and push up into tabletop. You're working the same muscle groups. Again, we're just taking that body weight off a little bit, particularly in the back of our legs and our hands. Good, okay, drop it down. Give your arms a little shake. Good, we're back up into position. So find where you want your hands to be. They facing out the way or back the way. Get that wrist comfortable. Feet shoulder width apart. Let's push up again. High plank. So really squeeze the glutes. We're going to start to feel that lactic build up in the back of the legs as we push through this 50 seconds. So nice big deep breaths in and out. Squeezing the glutes. Excellent. Good. Keep pushing. Remember your option to bring your heels in into that tabletop position. We're pushing the hips high so there's a straight line from your shoulders to your knees, and we're squeezing the glutes as hard as we can. Good. You've got 10 seconds left. Good. Last few seconds. And release. Good. Give your arms a wee shake. Okay, dynamic plank. So we're going to work on upper body and core. So we're either in high plank position or on your knees. If you're on your knees, you're pushing your body weight as far forward as you can. Your hands are directly underneath your shoulders. Good, and from there you're dropping down onto your elbows and pushing back up. Good, so making sure at some stage you're changing that leading arm. Don't always push up on the same arm. You'll have a tendency to want to use one side, but make sure you challenge both. Good. So nice and steady, nice and controlled, making sure that hands pushes up directly underneath your shoulder. Good. Use all your options. If you're in high plank position, you're staying parallel to the floor. You're keeping your hips low and you're challenging your abdominals. Excellent. Last few seconds. Good. Sit back. Have a little stretch. Good. We're doing that again. Once more. Then we've got one more leg exercise and we're into our new set of core. Okay, back into position on your knees or on your toes. Good. Dynamic plank. Down. Big push up. Excellent. Nice and controlled. So really looking to use your shoulders, your arms, you're pushing up through a little bit the chest, using our abdominals to stay in plank position. Excellent, you're halfway. Good. Keep the hips low to the ground. Challenge the core. If you're on your knees, don't let your hips come back. Keep pushing forward, pushing up through your upper body. Good, last few seconds. Good. Sit back, have a stretch. Okay, option to grab your weight. We're into Cossack squats. Good, so we're challenging our legs, but mostly the inside of the legs. So nice and wide. Good. And we're going to go down into that side lunge position. So dropping that knee, pushing the hips back and keeping one leg straight. Good. Depending on the length of your legs will determine how wide your stance is. It's just that one knee where you're bringing your body weight over and dropping down into squat. The other leg is getting that internal stretch in the muscle, keeping both heels on the floor. Good, nice and low, dropping down. Should feel that in that quad. All the way down, nice big stretch. Good. Give the legs a little shake. Okay, into that opposite side to finish this set. So again, nice and wide. Pick up your weight. And we're into that opposite leg. Good. So dropping down. And down. So hips push back the weight as you drop down into that side squat. So we're pushing down in through the heel. The knee is in line with the toe, and we're keeping our chest nice and high as we push back up. We're pushing through that leg. That leg stays straight, toes pointing forward, and we feel that internal stretch in our leg. Good. Keep the chest nice and high and sink as low as you can. Good. You've got just over 10 seconds left. Good. Nice and low. Excellent. Last few seconds. Good. Shake out the legs. Good. Well done. Okay, first set done. So we should have felt that in our upper body, core, and our legs. Now we're into core. So we're going to go into 60 seconds with 10 seconds in between. There is only 6 exercises. The middle set we're going to do twice, everything else we're just doing once. And you'll see why, because it's a unilateral exercise in the middle. So we need to do it both twice on each side. So we're starting with glute bridge and double leg raises. So down onto your back. There's not much time in between, but that's on purpose. Okay, so starting with your glute bridge. Grab your weight if you want. You can do single leg and swap on 30 seconds or stay with 2 legs. Down into position. Good. So pushing the weight up through the heels, squeezing at the top. So just now we're working our hamstrings and our glutes. Our opposing muscles to this are our hip flexors and our lower abdominals. So at the moment we're telling our body, work this back chain of muscles, and then we're going to flip it while these front ones just now are nice and quiet, not really doing much, and then we're going to challenge them straight after. So really lift and squeeze the glutes. Good. Swap legs if you haven't done already. This is halfway. Good. Lift and squeeze. Nice and high. Excellent. Big push up. Good. So starting to feel that running down the back muscles, lower back, glutes and hamstrings. Good. Last few seconds. Excellent. Bring the knees into the chest. Good. Stretch the legs out. We're into double leg raises. So as long as you can, we're lifting our legs. Little rise at the top if you want to put in that abdominal crunch. Bend the knees if you find that too hard. But make sure both legs are working at the same time. And this time we're working the front of our legs at the top and our lower abdominals. So pretty much opposite sides to what we were doing in that exercise. Good. Nice big lift. Excellent. Halfway. Good. Good. Keeping the legs as straight as you can. Really challenging the lower abdominals. We're only doing this exercise once. Good. Last leg push, 10 seconds. Good. And into recovery. Excellent. Okay, we're into lateral leg lift. So onto one side, and we're going to start with lifting that outer leg and then switch to lift the inside. So we're working mainly that muscle that's running down the outside, and then we're going to use the muscle on the inside. So relax down, nice straight leg at the top, point the toe down, and we're lifting up with a straight leg as high as you can. Good, on 60 seconds, nice and high. Big lift. Good, if you want to challenge it a little bit more, grab one of your weights and add a wee bit more resistance as you're lifting the leg up. Make sure you're not rotating your hips. Keep them facing forwards. Good, we want to target that glute and IT band running down the outside of our leg. Excellent, halfway. Good, nice and high if you can, but making sure you're not rotating that hip to face the ceiling. Keep it facing parallel to the floor. Good, keep the upper body nice and relaxed. You've got just over 10 seconds left. Good. Couple more lifts. Excellent. One more. Good. We're going to very quickly flip onto that lifting leg. This time, the leg's straight at the bottom. We're up onto our elbow. This leg's bent. And it's just a slight lift up off the floor, keeping the leg nice and straight. This time you're having to use the inside of your leg as you're lifting across that back leg. Good. So it's a slightly smaller movement pattern. Keep the leg straight. Upper body again is nice and quiet. You'll start to feel that in the inside of your leg. Good. So these are good supporting muscles for running and cycling. Good. Nice big lift. Well over halfway. You've still got 20 seconds though. So keep lifting. It's starting to fatigue. You feel it running down that inside. Excellent. Lift nice and high. 10 seconds. Couple more lifts. Good. And into recovery. Good. Give it a wee rub. Stay there. This time that right leg, we're back into that upper lift. This is why we're doing it 4 times. We want to work both sides. Good. So either lie the body down, keep it nice and quiet, point the toe down, lift from the heel. Again, making sure the hips are facing forward. You're lifting out, trying to really engage that glute and outer thigh muscle. Good, nice high lifts. Again, if you want to be using that weight, adding a little bit of resistance. Good, you're halfway. Good, keep going. Nice big lifts. Good. Leading with the heel, kicking out to the side, keeping the hips forward. Good. About 10 seconds left. 2 or 3 more lifts. Good. And into recovery. That outer leg that we've been lifting, again, we're flipping sides. We're going to lift in the opposite direction. So slightly smaller lift. Again, keep the toe flexed up. Lead with the heel. The leg's nice and straight. And you're lifting up. The inside of the leg should face the ceiling. Good. So muscles are starting to fatigue. Keep pushing up. You might notice there's a slight difference from one side to the other. Is there a slight imbalance? Are they both pretty much the same? Good, you're halfway. Good, keep the legs straight. Lift up. Feel that running down the inside of your leg. Excellent. Just over 10 seconds left. About 3 more, 4 more. Good. Big push. Excellent. And last few seconds. Oh, good. Give it a wee stretch. Sit back. Okay, this time we're into Superman and dead bugs. Nope. So into Superman position, lying down in your front. We're going to target glutes and lower back. And then we're going to go into abdominals and hip flexors. So stretching out across the floor. Good. So we're going to lift your feet and arms up off the floor. So lifting up, stretching forward, and then pulling back. See if you get a slight lift of the chest before you drop down. So we want the thighs and the chest right up off the floor. The more you lift the chest up off the floor, the more you're going to feel it in your back. The more you lift your legs up off the floor, the more you're going to feel it in your glutes. So try to stretch out the shoulder too. Nice big lift. All the way up, halfway. Good. Pulling back. So again, this time our abdominals are thinking they've got an easy time. So they're nice and relaxed. And we're working the back muscles. And then we're going to switch. Turn them off and turn on the abdominals. Good. So they don't need any recovery in between. Good. Big push out. Excellent. Little stretch. You're onto your back. Dead bugs. Both arms and legs in the air. We've switched off the back muscles and we're into abdominals. So you can do your options in dead bugs. You can have both legs and arms going at the same time or opposites. Down and up. The key here is that we're using our hip flexors and our abdominals. So opposing muscles to what we just worked there. Good. All the way back. Big pull up. Good. Really stretching out. Right down to the floor. Tap the heel. Big pull up. Keep the legs as straight as you can. Same with the arms. Pushing through the shoulders again. Excellent. You've got just over 10 seconds left. Keep going. Big push to the end. Last exercise. Good. Into recovery. Bring your knees up into your chest. Oh, good. Let's get the heart rate down. Well done. Just gently roll side to side. Loosen off the back muscles. Excellent. Okay, let's lift one leg up to the ceiling, cross it over, and just gently pull in. Just give that glute and outer thigh muscle a little stretch. Good. Bring the toe down, stretch off the calf, gently pulling in. Good. And change legs. Good. So the outsides and insides have had a good workout with all these wide stances that we've been doing and lowering our body weight in through these muscles. Again, just strengthening our position in bike and run in particular. Good. Release that. Come up onto box position. Sit down into child's pose. Bring the heels together, knees out. Sit back. Good. Try and stretch off the inside of the legs. Nice and wide in your knees. Stretch out the inside of the legs. Stretch off the shoulders and the back. Excellent. Nice big deep breaths. Good. Slowly coming up into standing position. Good. Just stretching off the front of the leg, bring the knees together, push the hips forward, Feel that stretch running down the front of the leg. Good. Heart rate should be almost back down again. Good. Into hamstring, onto the heel, draw the hips back. Feel that nice stretch running down the back of the legs. Good. Reach towards that toe. Deepen the stretch. Excellent. Swap sides. Into quad again. Bring the knees together. Push the hips forward. Nice big deep breaths. Good. Into opposing muscle, into hamstrings. Onto the heel, draw the hips back, reach forward for the toe. Good. Stretch out the back of the leg. Excellent. Good. Give the body a nice big stretch. Down and up above the head. Nice big stretch above the head. Bring the arms all the way out. Swing down. Pull back up. Nice big stretch. Once more. All the way down. Good. And pull up. Excellent. Well done. Good. Hope you have a good week.